A watch is a machine, but time, the thing it measures, is actually a story. What if you could read the story not through dates and text specs, but through beauty, culture, art, and human imagination? That's the ambition behind the Beauty of Time book, a lavishly illustrated homage to timekeeping instruments from the Middle Ages to the present. This isn't just a book about watches, it's a chronicle of how humans shaped and were shaped by time itself. This episode dives into that narrative, exploring how clocks and watches are not just mechanics, but cultural mirrors. This volume was written by Francois Chalais, a prolific author with deep roots in art history, decorative arts, jewelry, and horology, and Dominique Flechon, a seasoned horological historian. The book was published in partnership with the Fondation Internationale de la Haute Horologie, a respected institution dedicated to preserving and interpreting fine watchmaking heritage. The introduction is by Franco Coloni, another horological luminary, lending the book both historical weight and interpretive depth. This isn't a brand story, it's cultural storytelling, contextualized by historians who understand both technical powers and artistic language. The Beauty of Time is a substantial, richly illustrated book of roughly 280 pages that represents a panorama of remarkable timepieces, from pendulum clocks to pocket watches and wristwatches, spanning over half a millennium of human ingenuity. Rather than being organized brand by brand or era by era alone, the book waves timepieces into artistic and cultural contexts. It places horological masterpieces alongside artistic works of their periods, showing not just how they were made, but why they mattered in the society that made them. This is a volume for horology enthusiasts, art lovers, history buffs, design thinkers, anyone intrigued by how material culture reflects the evolution of taste. The narrative in this book is organized more like a curated exhibition than a technical manual. It travels through historic epochs such as the Middle Ages, from early mechanisms and the birth of mechanical timekeeping, the Renaissance and Enlightenment, design refinement and philosophical awakening, industrial and enterprise age, mass precision and technical expansion, avant-garde and modern eras, experimentation of wristwatch culture and aesthetic evolution, to contemporary timekeeping, where mechanics meet art, innovation, and concept. Each chapter pairs historical objects with contextual artwork and cultural reference points, showing how timepieces reflect and shape the ideas of their day. One of the key strengths of this book is how it frames timepieces as visual statements. A 17th century Tourette clock wasn't just a town instrument, it was a symbol of civic identity. A Renaissance pocket watch wasn't just a gadget, it was a status object and philosophical metaphor. And modern wristwatches became fashion scripts, telling the world who you were and where you belonged. Readers aren't just shown a list of mechanisms. They are shown how timekeeping expressed ideals, scientific, artistic, and political, through centuries. And here's where the book truly intersects with watches and politics. Timekeeping isn't neutral. Precision timekeeping has shaped maritime empires, industrial labor systems, military coordination, global synchronization, and even modern nations of productivity and identity. By presenting timepieces alongside artworks and cultural milestones, this book reveals how humans have negotiated power, identity, and control through devices that measure time. In other words, the book isn't just about watches, it's about how society tells itself time. And that is as political as it gets. This volume is visually rich, nearly 200 timepieces, lavish reproductions of artistic masterpieces, period illustrations, and contextual artworks. The imaginary isn't decoration, it's evidence that timekeeping has always been part of our cultural language, not just our tools. This makes the experience not just informative but immersive, encouraging readers to feel the evolution of taste and technique as they engage with objects chronologically and conceptually. Consider how the pendulum clock, a technology breakthrough of its time, eventually became a symbol of order and discipline in public life. Or how wristwatches became markers of modern identity during the 20th century. This book connects these movements not as isolated developments, but as responses to cultural, economic, and philosophical shifts in the society and globally. There's where the politics lives, in the relationship between human values and the objects that embody them. This book adds value for collectors by giving deep context to objects beyond rarity and price, and then to historians by linking horological advances to broader cultural trends, and then to design lovers by illustrating how functions and aesthetics evolve together, and also philosophical thinkers by showing how societies shape and are shaped by timekeeping. So it's not just a catalog, it's a conversation between time, society, and between meanings. What lingers after reading The Beauty of Time is not just knowledge of clocks and watches, it's the realization that timekeeping is a cultural act. It is shaped by our desires, by our fears, technologies, and ideals, and the objects we make to measure time and tell us as much about ourselves on the moments they mark, the moments that they were made and invented. The Beauty of Time is, in the simplest definition, a cultural panorama of timekeeping, a design and art history of horology, a reflection of societal values encoded in watches and clocks. I want to hear from you though. What timepiece from any era do you think tells your story? How has horology shaped your view of time and identity? And what book should we explore next to deepen this conversation and this understanding? Drop us a comment and send us a message, because watches don't just count moments, they carry meaning and they create moments. This is Watches and Politics. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with a collector who sees context as well as craft, and I can't wait to see you all in the next chapter.